this is Nikki. Welcome back to Nikki's Homemade Crafts YouTube channel. Welcome back to the Cable Mystery Crochet Along. This is part 2. We are working with Glimmer yarn from Mary Maxim, which is a number 4 yarn. I used the color lavender, but for this tutorial I'm using the color salmon. I'm also using a 4mm crochet hook. Remember, you can use any other yarn too. I recommend keeping the same yarn color for the entire project. It's going to make the cables look a lot better. Now, for part 1, you learned how to start with cables and you did it in rows. Well, this time we're going to do it in flat rounds. But before we get started, I do want to remind you that we have the written instructions for this pattern. You can get the pattern free with ads on my website. Down below is a link so you can grab it. It is free to view, or you can get it in my membership, the Crochet Club, and you can get it there ad-free on top of having over 400 additional ad-free patterns in a vault as a full member. You also get extra support, you have weekly live tutorials, and you have monthly get-togethers. So it's your choice. You either get it free with ads or ad-free that you can print. So let's get started. You're going to make a magic ring, and we're going to make an alternative turning chain first. So I like to make a chain of 1 just to hold my ring in place. Okay, it doesn't count as a stitch. Then I'm going to start with the alternative turning chain. You already learned how to do that now. And now we're going to add 3 more double crochet stitches. So therefore we have 4 in a row. Now you're going to make a chain of 2. You can also make a chain of 1. I just like making a chain of 2. If you make a chain of 1, keep it up for the entire project. So again, I make a chain of 2. Then we're going to make 4 more double crochet stitches. Then again, chain of 2. And now you're going to repeat that 2 more times. So we have in the end 4 sections of 4 double crochet stitches and 4 corners with a chain of 2. You're now going to make a slip stitch to the very first stitch, which was the alternative turning chain. And now you're going to close up the ring. So pull, pull, pull. Sometimes it takes a little extra tug until it's closed, and there you go. That's how it looks like. So you have 4 double crochets in a row, 4 times are all the way around, and you have 4 corners. So now we can go into the next round. In order to make this much easier, we're always going to start in the corner, okay? So go into the corner, so you're kind of going backwards here, and make your alternative turning chain, and then place 1 more double crochet in the same space, like so. And now you're going to place 1 double crochet on top of all the double crochets. So whenever you see a double crochet, you're going to place a double crochet. And then once you reach the corner, you're going to place 2 double crochets, a chain of 2, and 2 more double crochets. Now again, you're going to place 1 double crochet on each of the double crochet stitches, but keep in mind, this one is the stitch that a lot of crocheters seem to skip sometimes. This one right here, which is right after the chain space. Sometimes they crochet a little over and then they miss it. See that? So sometimes it's very easy to miss. Don't miss this one, otherwise you're not going to turn into a square and you're going to be off a stitch, okay? This one right here. Trust me, don't ask me how many times I have forgotten this one, okay? So don't miss it. Always have the same stitch count on every edge of your project. So now go ahead and finish that round. You're placing 1 double crochet on top of all the double crochets, and you're going to place in the corners 2 double crochets, a chain of 2, and 2 more double crochets. Do this all the way until the end. In the end, you have one set of the corner done, right? So you're just going to make here 2 double crochets and a chain of 2, and you slip stitch it to the first stitch that you made. And it's going to look like this in the end, okay? So you can tell that we're now going to be right there where the corner is. So we're going now back into the corner to make our very first stitch. So this is going to make it much easier, and we're not just going to be in the middle of it or something. Now again, make sure that all the sides have the same stitch count. So always double check every row to make sure you have the same stitch count. Now go ahead and start your first stitch. The corners will always look the same. So we're going to make a half corner here on the very first one. So alternative turning chain and another double crochet in the same stitch. And the next stitch is going to be either a double crochet, right? Or it's going to be the decrease. Now you again have to decide, how did you do it in part 1? So you either are going to do the decrease or not. So you decide. I'm going to make it with the decrease again, but if you don't do the decrease, just make a regular double crochet in the next stitch. That's what you're going to do. Regular double crochet, okay? Now you have gaps here anyway, so it's probably not going to matter too much, but it's up to you. It's more of a preference, which one you prefer. I'm going to make it with a decrease just to show you, okay? So that means right here is the first unfinished double crochet, and the next stitch is the next unfinished double crochet. Then yarn over and pull through both. And so we have now 3 stitches in a row, but one of them is that decrease, right? But we're going to reuse that stitch over here. So keep that in mind, okay? So now we're going to count, okay? So remember, we're reusing this one. So this is stitch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So those 6 stitches are going to be our cables. So we're again doing treble crochet stitches as post stitches, okay? So count again, 1, 2, 3. We're skipping the first 3. This one is where we used to decrease. So 1, 2, 3. Around here is the 4th. So you're going to make a post, front post treble crochet. Also in the 5th. And in the 6th stitch. Now you're going to go back to the ones that we skipped. So 1, 2, 3 in that row. So 1, 2, and 3. There we go. Our cable's done. So again, the next stitch is either a regular double crochet or you're going to do the decrease combo, right? If you're doing the decrease combo, you're going to reuse stitch 6, make a half finished double crochet, and then in the regular stitch right here, another unfinished double crochet and finish it as a decrease. So if you're not doing the decrease, you're just going to do a regular double crochet in that next stitch, okay? It's up to you. You decide. Now, we're now in the corner. So the corner stitch are all the same. Nothing new. 2 double crochets, chain of 2, 2 double crochets. Now you're going to repeat what you just did over here. You're going to do it over here, and over here. Okay, so I'm going to show you one more time, just as a reminder. Okay, so the next stitch is either a regular double crochet. So if you're not going to do the decrease, just make a regular double crochet and then start counting from here after that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, this is what you're going to count if you're doing the regular double crochet. If you're doing it with a decrease, you're going to use the first stitch also as a half finished double crochet and then make a decrease. Okay, so in this case, we're then going to count the stitch again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to make treble crochet stitches into 4, 5, and 6. Now we're going to go back and going to do it for 1, 2, and 3. Then here's the next stitch. So that is either going to be a regular double crochet or you're going to include the 6th one right here and make the decrease. You need to decide that. I'm making it as a decrease. And now again, we're in a corner, so we're starting over. So you do this exact same thing 2 more times, so you'll have 4 in total. All right, it's going to look like this now. It's going to look a little bit more voluminous, but don't get scared or anything. It is actually very straightforward. I know some of you guys may probably be asking me now, why are you never turning your work? Well, for granny squares, I prefer just staying on one side. So I have a wrong side and I have a right side. I never turn. And for cables, it actually is very beneficial because it makes it much easier to do just front posts. So we actually never do back post stitches when you do this version. There's no back post, it's only front post. So making it very straightforward. Now again, in the next round, you're going to go back into that corner and you're going to start your half corner right there. So 2 double crochets, one of them being the alternative turning chain. And now it's very straightforward. So whenever you see a double crochet, including that decrease, right, depending on whether you did it or not, you're going to place a double crochet. So whenever you see a double crochet, you place a double crochet. So you don't really have to count here. Just make sure they're all even in the end. Okay, and whenever you see a post stitch right here, you're going to make a post stitch. So these are double crochets though. So you're going to place double crochet stitches right on top here. These were treble crochets in the previous row, and here they're just going to be double crochets. But they're all front post, right? So you're still going to make front post. Going to go around it and make front post double crochet stitches. Now again, whenever you see a double crochet, you place a double crochet. And then once you hit your corners, you're going to do the corner as per usual. 2 double crochet stitches, chain of 2, and 2 double crochet stitches. So now you're going to repeat that all the way around. So in the corners, you do what I just said in the corners, and all the other rest of the area is a double crochet on top of a double crochet and a front post double crochet on top of any of the post stitches. Do this all the way until the end of the row. All right, and it's going to look like this now. You're now going to repeat the exact same thing one more time. Okay, so in the next round, again, you're going to start in a corner, always start in a corner. And you're going to make your half corner. Then whenever you see a double crochet, you make a double crochet. Whenever you see a post stitch, you're going to make a front post double crochet. And then you keep going all the way around and do exactly the same thing one more time. Guess what happens after? The next row after that, and then you're going to repeat round 3. So wherever that twist is happening, okay? So you're going to place a double crochet whenever there's a double crochet. And then right before the post stitches, you need to decide, are you going to make that decrease or not? If not, then just regular double crochet and then make the cable just like you did over here. There's 6 stitches involved in the 2 strands, right? Then make your twist just like you did over here. And then you keep going with the double crochet stitches and in the corners. There is at one point though, in that project, you're going to start doing something else. So let me show you. So this is how the finished project looks like. But after 7 rounds, you're going to do something different. You're going to add front post double crochet stitches right here. Okay, so if this is the corner, you're going to make a double crochet, 3 of them. Okay, so you have 2 in the corner, one of them being the alternative turning chain. So there's 3. And then right here, the next one will be then a front post double crochet, then a regular double crochet front post. And then again, you have then here your double crochet stitches. Okay. Then you do whatever you need to do over here, and then you keep going. So that means at this point you should have 7 stitches right here. Okay, so you have those 2 front posts with the double crochet here in between. Okay, this probably will remind you of part 1. And then you have 7 stitches right here. You have that cable section, 7 stitches over here. Then you do the front post. Remember, this is starting round 8. Okay, that's when you start this. Then over here, the corners will be the corners, right? And then you keep going and you have again your front post stitches, which in the beginning would be the corner 1 stitch in row 8. Then you do front post, double crochet, regular double crochet, front post, double crochet, 7 double crochets, then the cable section, and then repeat that. You do this all the way around. Then in round 9, you're just going to repeat what we've done before. Whenever there's a corner, you do the corner. Whenever there's a double crochet, you make a double crochet. And when you see a front post double crochet, you make a front post on top. When you see double crochet, you make a double crochet. When you see front post double crochet, you make a front post. Then again, there's 7 in between your cable section, right? 7, front post, regular front post, regular double crochets with corner, and etc. all the way around. And then there should be one more round after that, which is round 10. And then you do that exact same thing again. And this is how it's going to look like. Now, because this is a granny square, you may not have the exact measurements. When I first finished it without blocking it, I had about 10 inches or so, right? Because this compresses here a little bit with the cables. Then I blocked it and I got it to 10.5. Okay, so as I said, it's between 10 and 11. Make sure the square is the exact same size as your part 1 square. So you can see it's 10.5 in each direction. Okay, so this is blocked a little bit, so if I can lay this down, this is going to be 10.5, right? Just pulls in a little bit, that's fine. Okay, so if you need to add around or remove around, that's fine, but don't do that until you have it blocked. Okay, it should be the same size, and you have to block this guy. Otherwise, it will not be the same. If you add an extra round to it and then you block it, you're going to realize something's off. So I would highly recommend you block it after 10 rounds and make sure it is the right size. I typically block it to 11. In this case here, because it always retracts just a tad bit after you take it off your little blocking board, right? And then it goes back to like about 10.5. So that's what I have. My 2 blocks are exactly the same size at this point. So I personally feel like that this version is much easier than part 1 because you're just working with front post stitches. That's all. You are adding some front post stitches right here besides the cables, right? So just keep in mind that you need to add those, and the written instruction has everything listed. And when you're done making your square, go ahead and take your picture and post it into the Facebook group called Crocheting with Nikki. Use the hashtag MAR24MCAL so I can see you and celebrate you. And then hopefully you're going to be ready for part 3 right after. Any guesses yet what we're making? Because we still have to crochet something else for part 3. Really curious what your thoughts are. Now remember, I have a membership called the Crochet Club, and it has over 400 ad-free patterns with checkoff boxes and additional tutorials, VIP access to me teaching you every single week what you want to be taught. Whether it's stitches, tips, amigurumi, little patterns, or anything else, on a monthly basis, we vote on what you want to see the next month, and every week I go live and teach you exactly what you want to be taught. So come join my membership if you want to get my patterns ad-free and get a really fun community with it, as well as me teaching you exactly what you want to be taught. I'll see you in the membership. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Be sure to like, comment, and share this video, and subscribe to my YouTube channel and turn on the bell to get a notification next time I publish a new video or go live. Now go ahead and watch the next video. I'm sure you want to. I'll see you next time. Bye.